Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today I'm going to be doing a fake away night at home and it will involve a chicken tikka curry. So we haven't made one at home for a long time. It's a thing that we really do enjoy. It's one thing that is one of our favourite dishes to order, and I know that probably most people have their favourites when they go to like an Indian restaurant, or if they get a takeaway at home, or if they go to Chinese or Thai restaurants, etc. And I think, you know, you always go for your favourite, but it's always a classic. And I think it's a really simple dish that for the majority of the time most of us will have the ingredients in our store sort of cupboard. So hopefully this will be helpful to you guys at home. Now there is one ingredient that I have that is not sin free, but the rest of this meal is sin free, so you could technically leave this out if you didn't want to use it. You could use an alternative mix, but what I will show you is that we have this. It's a sort of a base for making tikka at home. Now we picked this up last month when we were down in Yorkshire, and it's quite a big brand down there. It's made in Shipley in Yorkshire. So basically what it is it's I think it's called Agra. Agra is the brand, but this has got everything in it that you need to make a really nice tikka sauce at home, or tikka curry at home. Now this serves 4 people. We have used it as a marinade for our chicken today, and lo and behold, on the Slimming World app it actually came up on the app. I wasn't sure it would because it's not like a big brand like Patax or, you know, all these other brands that are out at the moment, the sort of curry brands. But it did come up, and what it told me is it's 1.5 sins per level tablespoon. So I have converted that to grams, and it works out at around 15 mils or 15 grams per level tablespoon. So I've added 2 tablespoons to the chicken. So it's just 2 chicken breasts cut up into chunks, and basically 1 tablespoon per person. So it's just myself and my husband who are going to be having this. So we've marinated this for a wee while, probably about an hour and a bit. As soon as I got in from work earlier on, this is the first thing that I did, because it does recommend that you marinate your meat or your vegetables or fish or whatever it is that you're marinating for a wee while before you go to use it. Ideally it would be good to do it overnight, but of course that didn't happen. So this is what it looks like. Obviously we've got our 2 chicken breasts in there with the sort of marinade, and I've just stirred it all around, popped a cover on it and popped it into the fridge, and I must say it smells absolutely divine. It smells so good, and I'm really looking forward to trying it. I haven't used this base before. It is something that my husband has used, and he's had it in restaurants and things down south, so I'm really holding out high hopes for it because it smells so good. The reviews online are fantastic as well, and they do have an online shop, so if it's something you want to have a look at, then feel free to do so. So that's our first sort of main bit of the meal, obviously the chicken for the chicken tikka. I am going to cook this in our air fryer, just because it's easy just to chuck it in, and it will be nicely cooked all the way through, and it will hold on to its scents and flavours within the air fryer as well. So I'll move that to one side. We've also got this, which is maybe something you guys haven't seen at home yet, but Shaman's Garam Masala Spice Blend. So this is a brand which sells a lot of spices, spice mix, etc. as sauces as well. And we've only ever had this from the shop up the road. Now there's only certain places in the UK that stock this, so it's just to be mindful that you can search for the stock locations online on their website. But what I have done before in the past is just sprinkle some of this on some chicken, pop it into the air fryer or the oven, and it has turned out absolutely delicious every single time. So I would highly recommend having a look at their stuff. Again, it's sin free, it's just spices, there's no sugar in there at all, and it is just garam masala. So yeah, really I would recommend this 100%. It's something that you'll need a tiny little bit of, but it's something that we do keep in our cupboard at the front because we throw it into lots of different things. So we also have an onion which will grate for going into the curry, the sauce. We've also got our garlic cloves sort of here. So the recipe calls for 4 cloves, but I'll see how it is because some cloves inside are sometimes smaller than others, and we really like garlic, so I don't mind putting in a little bit of extra garlic if we feel we need it. We also have a red chilli, and we also have some ginger as well for our sauce. So we will cut up and de-seed our chilli. I'll maybe leave a little bit for decoration at the end if I can. I do have some extra ones in the fridge, so I might need to use them up if I want to decorate it. And we also have our ginger as well, which we will grate for going into the sauce. So the sauce base will be our finely chopped tomatoes, which we have used before. For any of you guys that might have seen this video, we got these in Asda for an amazing deal a couple of months ago. They were on offer as part of the Gino range that Asda was doing a wee while ago, and we managed to pick this up for 25 pence. It was a yellow sticker and it was 50 pence. We picked up loads and loads of these. We picked up beans, we picked up, you know, all these pulses and things like chickpeas and things as well, which were great and have been great to use up over the last couple of weeks in Slimming World. And this has actually got a really good flavour. It's organic as well, which is not something we normally go out of our way to buy, but when you can get it for such a good price, you cannot complain with that. We also have some tomato puree as well, which we'll add in to add a little bit more depth to the sauce and a little bit more richness there. We will spray our chicken with the fry light just to make sure that nothing burns. Or say fry light, this is actually Celesta, which is from Aldi, but it's the same thing, but a lot cheaper. And we also have our cinnamon, just a little sprinkle of cinnamon. I know we've got our garam masala there as well, which will have that in it, but just a sprinkle. And we also have our ground cumin as well. And last but not least, last 2 products are coriander. So we'll probably sort of roughly chop up some and put some over the top. We might stir some in. I've got some spinach in the fridge as well, which I know is not a usual thing to add into tikka masala, but it is speed food if you're following Slimming World recipes or plan, and it does add a nice flavour to the sauce. So I might do that. Failing that, I might use the spinach in another way that I'm not sure about yet, but I will show you all. All will be revealed at the end. And we also have our Greek 0% fat yogurt. So in some recipes you might see that the recipes call for fromage frais and yogurt. I don't have fromage frais, so I'm just going to be using the yogurt and that'll be absolutely fine. I've used it before just to give the sauce a little bit more of a sort of creamy texture, and if you are making a variety of different curries, you can add as much yogurt as you want really to it to make it a really creamy sauce. Which is also a really good tip because it saves you an abundance of sins if you use a 0% fat Greek yogurt instead of full fat yogurt or cream, which would be the typical usual ingredient to use in this recipe. So before I go any further forward, I'm not a chef. I don't go out of my way to make curries on a day-to-day or weekly basis. It's a treat for us, but we have all of these ingredients in the house and we felt it would be nice to do it for a treat. And something to nicely enjoy whilst we watch TV, while we chill out. So we're not going to be serving this with our usual rice, as in pilau rice or basmati rice, whatever you want to do. We're going to be serving it with our cauliflower rice because that's what we have in the freezer, and we can also flavour that with some of our seasonings that we have here, just so it's not as plain. And making sure that we have plenty of salt and pepper and things in there as well, just makes it that little bit less bland. I don't mind cauliflower rice, but it does get a little bit old when you are eating it a lot of the time, and it's just not the same as normal rice. But we wanted to make this a little bit lower calorie, and we wanted to have some more speed food in our day-to-day meal day-to-day meals, and so that's what we've got in the freezer. So we'll just pop that into the microwave when we're ready to use it. Because we don't have any naan breads and we don't have chapatis or anything like that in the house, and these things often carry a higher sin value, we do have some wholemeal pita breads, which I know are not typically Indian food, but we do have them and I'm happy to use them up. So we're going to have one each as our healthy extra B choice. So what I'll do is I'll probably just pop both of them into the toaster, toast them up, we'll spray them with some low calorie, I say fry light, but low calorie spray, and we'll probably pop them into the air fryer once the chicken and everything's all done. Maybe pop some garlic granules on there as well, but we'll see how that goes. If possible, I might even use a little bit of butter, because I've not had any Syns today at all. So the 1.5 Syns for the chicken for me is my first 1.5 Syns of the day, which is not bad. So yeah, if we wanted to use a little bit of butter to melt over the top of the pita bread just to give it a little bit more of authenticity, then we might do that. But again, all will be revealed at the end, because I'm sure, as you know, when you are cooking at home and when things happen, you get distracted, things go on in the background, that might not always go to plan. So we will see how it goes, and I will show you at the end. So what I'll do just now is I'll pause you guys where you are, I'll get everything all tidied up and set up for showing you the rest of the video, and I hope you enjoy it. So thank you so much for watching, and I shall catch you in a minute. Guys, so we have the finished product. We added in some spinach at the end there, which I know you may or may not have seen, but in the sauce we added quite a lot of spinach just to help thicken it up, put some extra speed in there, as we said at the beginning of the video, and it also just gives it some extra texture as well, rather than it being just sort of chicken with some veg and sauce. I just feel it sort of bulked it up a little bit. I know it's not typical tikka masala or chicken tikka, whatever you want to call it, but it is my version of it, and it is a very low Syn version, so I hope that is okay with you guys at home. We've got our cauliflower rice here, which I just popped into the microwave as directed on the instructions, and I stirred in some aromat seasoning at the end with some pepper and a little bit of cumin. So I just stirred it all through, and I must admit the smell of it is lovely. It smells really authentic. We also have our curry here as well, so I just diced up the chilli. We grated half of the onion, and we thinly sliced half of the onion, just for a little bit of a difference in texture. And it was quite a large onion, so we wanted to make the most of it rather than grating all of it. We also added in our ginger root and our garlic as well. So I grated sort of 3 big garlic cloves with 2 smaller ones, and we sort of, we didn't grate them. We plunged them into the curry in our little machine that we have. And we also cooked our chicken in the air fryer. So I'm really looking forward to this. I did sprinkle some of the garam masala seasoning onto the chicken around halfway through cooking, so I'm hoping that this will taste as lovely as it looks. I'm not sure if you guys can see, but I am really looking forward to this. I think it looks excellent, if I do say so myself. I stirred in just about a tablespoon of the Greek fat-free yogurt at the very end, and it's not split or anything like that, so I wouldn't be worried about doing that at home if this is something you want to try. So here goes. That is absolutely amazing. There's a really nice heat there from all of the spices and the seasonings. We've obviously got our 2 tablespoons of the paste that we've mentioned earlier in the video, and that is 1.5 Syns per tablespoon. So it's worked out in total 3 Syns for the whole dish. So myself and my husband have both got a plate each, just like this, full of cauliflower rice and our curry, which I am honestly looking forward to so much. It really does taste amazing. And if you haven't tried making your chicken in the air fryer, I would strongly advise you try it. The chicken turns out perfect every time. It's so juicy, it's succulent and tender, and it really does hold its flavour so well. So I would definitely recommend doing that if you're going to be making this, much more so flavour wise than cooking it in a pan or under a grill. I just feel it dries it out too much. So I hope this has been a useful video for you. I'm off to enjoy my curry, and what I'll do is just quickly show you our little homemade naan bread, or should I say naan bread, at home. And it is our pita bread, which we toasted in the toaster. We then popped it into the air fryer at 180 for about 4 minutes with some Fry Light spray or low calorie spray and our garlic granules on top. So this is the finished product. I'm really looking forward to having this. There's a really nice texture to that as well, and we've got some scooping action available for popping the curry on the bread at the very end of the meal. So I hope this has been a useful video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope that you may be inspired to make something similar to this at home. So as always, thank you so much for watching, and I shall catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye.